Flesh and Blood is a competitive card game at its core. But what if it wasn't? How's it going, Rogues Gallery? And today we're going to be talking about a brand new hero in the Flesh and Blood trading card game and what it means for the future of the game as a whole. I think this is going to be a really exciting topic, one that a lot of folks out there are very much looking forward to, and one that I personally have a lot of, I don't want to say attachment for, but we're going to touch upon some of my favorite parts of gaming in general, so I'm really excited for this video. But before we get started, I do want to mention a couple little sponsors of this channel. The first is Forge and Fire Gaming. They are an LGS where I personally buy a lot of my Flesh and Blood product for. So if you are looking to purchase any of the newest set Dynasty, I do have an affiliate link to that store, Forge and Fire, in the description down below. You can also use that affiliate link to purchase basically anything else on the website, you know, if you want to buy Magic or Warhammer or whatever. And I also want to mention the stuff that I have, which is my Patreon. So if you love what I do and you'd like to support me, I have my Patreon. I also have channel memberships, which are very, very new. You'll gain access to new emotes. I'm going to add more emotes as time goes on. It's just a great way to support the channel. And I also have my online store, redzonerogue.com, where you can buy playmats and sleeves and all of this kind of stuff. But without further ado, let's talk about Yoji, Royal Protector, or as we've called him, Guan Yu, or is it Lubu? One of those. And let me quickly get his information out because he was spoiled like a couple days ago and I do not have him memorized, though he is pretty simple. And he's going to be the main catalyst for the discussion that we're going to have today. So Yoji, Royal Protector, is a Guardian Hero Young. He has 4 intellect and 22 life, which is pretty good. It's above average. We're talking like Volda range here. And he has once per turn instant for 3 resources. The next time another target hero would be dealt damage this turn, instead, that damage is dealt to Yoji and prevent 1 of that damage. Now, why do I think this is such a big deal? I mean, it's kind of a cool hero. He helps prevent damage to other heroes, which you're like, why would you want to do that in a competitive 1v1 environment? Well, you probably wouldn't. And that is the crux of the conversation here. Legend Story Studios and Flesh and Blood are actively designing brand new heroes for non-competitive formats. And that gets me very, very, well, I'm pretty excited for it. Let's just say that. And because of this, I think we can kind of see the direction that the game is going to be going, especially as we look forward into 2023. So why do I think this? What do I think is going to happen? Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. So this really, really incentivizes, cooperative play or helping out another player. And what formats currently are good for that? Well, there's Ultimate Pitfight, right? Ultimate Pitfight is the premier Flesh and Blood multiplayer format where you can play with, we usually do pods of 4, but it's recommended around 4 to 5. And, Yoji in a format like that is great. You can use his ability as a politics type tool to be like, hey, I'll block this hit for you if you attack this other person for me. And, first of all, I love that kind of design space, this kind of like, group huggy type of aspect. It's a space that is not very explored in Flesh and Blood. We have the merchants who kind of have this aspect, but other than that, not a whole lot. So I love this aspect for Yoji. I love that they're designing for these multiplayer formats in general. But what I think it alludes to, even more importantly, is the fabled player versus environment, or PvE, thing that LSS and Flesh and Blood are going to be showcasing next year. Now, this is not speculation. This has 100% been confirmed by Flesh and Blood creator James White that they are actively working on a player versus environment product. I'm not sure exactly any more details than that, and that this product will be available in 2023. Now, is it going to be like a box set, like the old World of Warcraft raid decks? Is it going to be, you buy individual decks? We don't really know the form that this is going to take. If I had to guess, I would guess it would be like those World of Warcraft raid decks. I also hope it's going to be like the World of Warcraft raid decks, where you just buy a box set and it's a complete like campaign or something like that, or encounter, or however they want to compartmentalize this. And you know, designing heroes and publishing them now for this format, you know, that is going to be a thing, you know, next year, I think is very smart. And it gets people thinking and already familiar with these kind of mechanics. I absolutely love it, and I really think it's something that a lot of folks out there are going to very, very much enjoy. One of my favorite card games to play, not trading card game, just card game in general, is Arkham Horror, the living card game, because that game has this co-op element. You're not against your fellow investigators in that game. You are on the same team, and it's this amazing shared experience. It's kind of like playing Dungeons and Dragons. You know, you have this shared experience overcoming like these insane odds, and that's what I want to see from this Flesh and Blood PvE thing that we have going forward, and that's what Yoji is really alluding to, in my opinion. He has this ability that is perfect for that. You know, you're in this squad of heroes together. You know, you need a tank, right? Yoji is the tank. He's going to tank the damage for like the squishy assassin or the squishy wizard or whatever, so that they can get their really big hits off, and you win as a team, because, you know, you're the big tank. You can't really maybe do as much damage, but you can absorb that damage. I think it's awesome, and I'm just so excited for this. You can bet that we will be doing this type of content on Red Zone Rogue. We're going to be doing some PvE gameplay whenever it happens. I'm 100% certain that our UPF regulars, DM Armada, Az from Go Again Gaming, and Bill from the Spike Feeders, I'm 100% sure that they would be on board with doing a series of you know, gameplay videos, you know, documenting our journey. You know, maybe it's a campaign, maybe it's just a couple little fights here or there, and I know I'm beyond excited for it. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you think of Yoji? I think he's awesome. I think he's really cool, and I think the things that he alludes to are going to be momentous for Flesh and Blood. I know a lot of folks who don't really play competitive card games because they either have anxiety, like, you know, competitive anxiety, or they just don't, they're not that kind of person, you know, they don't want to, you know, battle against someone else. They would more rather play with someone in a cooperative effort, and this is really going to open the doors for Flesh and Blood and, you know, bring in a lot more players. It's exciting times, exciting times. Can't wait for it. Can't wait for the Dynasty spoiler season. I've already mentioned it here on the channel through like community posts, but I will have a preview card for Dynasty. It's going to be extremely awesome. Join me for that. And hey, if you like the channel, maybe consider subscribing, maybe even sign up for our channel memberships. Check out my Patreon, all of that good stuff. I just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. All the support helps grow the channel and these excellent games that we all love. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time.